Welcome back this week, guys. Studio's looking slightly different. Let's rewind and see how we got here. Okay, good news. This one, shaky. This one is finally finished. So it's taken the best part of a week, but I've just finished up this morning and, well, I say finished, I've done the string work now. There's an important step that I don't think I've talked about before in the vlog, which is like, yeah, a burning, I suppose you'd call it. Now, there are all these like tiny little hairs that when you apply the layers of paint makes it look very fuzzy and fluffy and not as aesthetically nice. So basically you do like a flame, so you run a lighter across the bottom or a blowtorch. I don't have a blowtorch at the moment, it's much quicker with a blowtorch, but that then gets rid of all those fine little hairs and makes the finish of the paint much nicer. That way you end up getting like this one over here, this very smooth finish without any kind of fluffiness. And you mean you can achieve it, but you have to spend a lot more time and flatten down the hairs later on, and sometimes I forget to do that flame layer, but today I haven't, luckily, so I'm just going to get on with that. And then yeah, I'm going to do an assessment of the studio basically, because I think, unless I'm very much mistaken, I'm at the point where it's nearly time to paint. So I'll just do this flame and then I'll talk a bit more about what I'm going to do. Okay. So that's that step completed now, and it's basically ready for painting. So the next step really is, I broke a bulb the other day, so there's glass on the floor that I need to clean up. You can see the bulb just about there. But I was so in the moment that I haven't got around to cleaning it up yet, so first I better get onto that so my bare feet don't get destroyed. Just editing the vlog. Next is a thorough explanation of what I'm doing. When I make the string work, it's a bit like a drawing. There's no precise moment when it's finished. It's just a kind of intuitive feeling that says, okay, this has enough pencil or pen marks on the drawing which makes it finished. And it's the same sort of thing with this. There's enough string work, which is in a sense drawing in a three-dimensional form. It's the act of making a line. So for me it's most equivalent to drawing at this stage. Abstract three-dimensional line drawing. Anyway, when you go about drawing, when you go about doing the string work, sorry, you get to a point where you think, okay, I'm happy with that right now, I'm going to leave it alone for a bit and then come back to it later and see what I think. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 that I can see right now in front of me are at that stage, and basically I think I want to start painting them. So what I'm going to do is lay them all out and basically just go through them one by one and think, is that completely done? Does this need a tiny bit more in this area, tiny bit more in that area? For example, with this piece here, I know that in the past I wanted to do a bit more here, so I'm going to put that up on the wall, have a look at it, decide whether that was a good idea or not, and then put a bit more there, most probably, and then yeah, and then it's ready to paint. The other thing is I've set up this space here, you can't really see, but along where this line is, and along, if you imagine a line between here and here where these two poles are, I'm going to put in some sort of fake wall. So with the poles that are there, and with very fine plastic sheeting, you actually look at one of the very first vlogs. I mean, I wouldn't advise it, it's not particularly good. Not saying that these are good now, but they're much better than they were. You can see like this fake box that I set up for painting, and this time I'm going to set up a fake wall there and there, which leaves me this space here to continue working on some other pieces and leaves the kind of workshop area open for access. And the idea is you walk down the stairs and you end up in this kind of corridor between this fake wall here and the wall there, and you come through and you've got then this other wall here. So you've got like this corridor of painting, so I can put paintings on each side, on this wall and this wall, and that way I think there's going to be plenty of space to basically paint all the pieces. So on top of deciding and finalising each piece today, I'm going to probably construct this plastic wall. Not 100% excited over it because it does reduce the size of the studio in a psychological way, you know, makes it feel a little bit claustrophobic, but it's only for a couple of months until this painting's done, and then I can take it all down again and open the studio up. So this is kind of cycle in the studio of seasons where you have this ideas zone where you build 10, 20 sketches of work you want to do, utilising your new ideas and whatever you've kind of been out into the world and seen and had ideas. Sometimes you're walking along the street and you see something and you think, oh my god, that would totally fit in with what I'm talking about now, or you see someone else's artwork, or you know, an idea strikes you in the shower or wherever, and every 6 months to a year you kind of incorporate and evolve your ideas and your style to produce these new works. I mean, this one, for example, I was cycling past and saw this old pipe and I was like, oh, that's a really beautiful material. How can I incorporate that in my work? And that spawned this piece that I'm really quite happy with. You know, it's very different. It required a series of techniques which I've never used before to do with the string, because you obviously can't staple in the back of a metal pipe. So you've got to tie it in a certain way that doesn't leave it all messy and horrible. What I'm getting at is the seasons. So you get the idea season, and then you get the production season where you figure out how to actually make all these pieces, and then you end up finalising them with the painting. So yeah, basically the painting's called wet season, and that's just about to start, I think today or tomorrow, depending how long it takes to finish these several pieces that I've been working on and to construct this wall. But enough talking for now. I'm going to get on with it, and yeah, hope you enjoy these time lapses of where they're going and how they're working and what they're doing. And if anything changes in my ideas, or if I find one that's nowhere near finished, which I've completely forgotten about, then I'll stop the time lapse and let you know what's going on. Let's go. Okay, so I've finished building the walls. You can see behind me, I've created this corridor that we were talking about, running along down here and along there, with places on each side for all the paintings. They've all got their place now. This is going to be all in black, this side, and this piece over here as well. And these over here are going to be in white. I'm not 100% if I'm going to do a red yet. I'm about 50-50 on this one. But if not, then it's just going to be black and white this time. One thing that is necessary to do before I begin painting is covering up certain sections of the work. So obviously these pipes here, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but I want them to be exposed. I don't want them to be painted. So there's going to be a nice contrast between the underlying material and the finish of the paint. This piece as well, I want the wood exposed. Ooh, this isn't in its right place. This is going right here. Yeah, so the wood from this piece is going to be exposed. The pipes from this piece is going to be exposed. This one is ready to paint. The metal needs to be wrapped, and also this wood needs to be wrapped. So I've got to wrap that in a protective plastic coat, the same plastic as this, and a bit of duct tape. And then, yeah, then they're really ready to begin painting. So I'm just going to quickly wrap them, put them in their respective places, and then painting time. But that might be for next week. Okay, I'm going to start wrapping. One prepped and ready to paint. Two prepped and ready to paint. 3 prepped and ready to paint. 4 prepped, ready to paint. 5 prepped, ready to paint. I don't have 6 fingers, but 6 prepped and ready to paint. Okay guys, that's everything done this week. So everything's ready for painting next week. I'll begin tomorrow, and we'll see how it gets on in the next few weeks. Okay. I said week a lot, but see you next week. Bye.